welcome to White Davy Gardening and Worm Farm. If you like my channel, please subscribe. So today we are going to be starting yet another experiment. In this container I have dried leaves, and in this container I have coconut coir. So I'm going to be using both containers for bedding, the content of both containers for bedding. So I'm going to create a worm bin with this, and I'm going to create a worm bin with the coconut coir, and I'm going to be adding worms to both bins, and I'm going to be feeding them the same amount of food at the same time, the same amount of moisture. So the purpose of the experiment is to see which of these the worms are going to consume first. Will it be the coconut coir bedding, or will it be the dried leaves bedding? There's one slight disadvantage with this one, is that these leaves were damp while they were in a bag, so they have a bit of mold on them, which means that the worms may find this a bit more attractive. So that might cause them to eat this a little bit faster. Not certain, but anyway, so I have some water here with BTK soaked in it. So what I'm going to be doing is moisten these material. This is the residue of the BT that was in the container. It's actually mosquito dung. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be adding enough water to both containers and let it sit for a while so that both of them can soak properly. And then after they are soaked, then I will start the experiment. Okay, so I've allowed the material to soak as much as I could, and now I'm going to be doing the experiment. But while I was soaking both material, I noticed that even though I started off with both of them being the same volume, the coconut coir got swollen, whereas the leaves depressed. So what I did, rather than trying to use the same volume, I decided to weigh the material to ensure that I'm starting off with the same weight. So this is 1 pound 7 ounces. This is 1 pound 7 ounces. I'm going to be transferring these later on to the right worm bin, to my experimental trays, but for now I do not have any of them that has been prepared, and I have so many experiments on the go that I'm actually running out of bins as well. So here I have food scraps prepared for each bin. So in here we have grapefruit, and not the rind, and potatoes, and kiwi skin. I'm going to be putting that in the middle. Unfortunately, these are not worm bins. They're just trays that I use in looking after my worms. So They don't have holes in them, which means I can't cover this. So I'm going to have to put a piece of fabric or mesh over this temporarily until I transfer these to the right worm bin. And the reason I'll be doing that is because I'm feeding the bin food scraps and I don't want to have any fruit flies in there. So we're going to cover these over and pile up the bedding over the area where the food scrap is. And the reason I'm doing that again, as I said, is to help keep down the fruit flies. I don't want too much of the food scrap scent to get out and attract the fruit flies. My worms are 10.6 ounces. We're going to share those in half. Just a little bit more. Okay, so these are the worms. I will let them go down on their own. Okay. They're looking lovely, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the experiment has begun. Which do you think is gonna go fastest? Is it going to be the leaves or is it going to be the coconut coir? This is the first time I'm actually using coconut coir as bedding, so it will be interesting to see how they do. They're trying as hard as they can to get away from the light as quickly as possible. Okay, so if you enjoy this video and you'd like to see the result of this experiment, then please take a moment to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, a time for grow.